not hot today. That's a mindset, you know. We're going to play some hot games of September, and if you cave to a hot day in training camp, we're in trouble.
Vic Fangio rocking the sweatshirt in triple-digit heat. That man doesn't want to hear it's hot out. Meanwhile, Zach Bond with a strong SPF sunscreen on the head today. The Eagles moved up practice 1 hour due to the heat as they put the pads on for the first time today. Welcome into Birds Huddle, presented by Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL, along with Barrett Brooks and Dave Zangaro. I'm Ashlyn Sullivan. It was the pads on for the first time, the longest practice of training camp. This was pretty close to back in the good old days.
Yeah, it was. I mean, almost 2 hours, you know what I mean? That's, to me, that's like a record since, you know, Nick's been here, man. We were out there. And I was right there with him, out there, me and my two compadres. We were out there.
Complaining,
it was,
checking the watch. When is this over?
What are we doing here?
I love a hot day at training camp.
Yeah.
We got to talk to Zach Bond about his technique for that was a little crazy, just like spraying it in the, like, you got to worry about the eyes there,
Well, I mean, now you close your eyes, you know, you can just let it go around there. You know, when you're foggy, you know, you don't have too much up there, you know, you're challenged.
From experience.
Yeah, you just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could talk to him about this, that's for sure. Well, following practice day, Jalen Hurts was asked about perhaps being more vocal during training camp this year. Take a listen.
Honestly, it's just having good discernment. You know, there's some things that I can control, and, you know, you got to get good big control on it. You touch the ball every play, and then there are some things that you really can't control from a sense of what others do. And so it's a matter of being on the same page. I feel like we weren't on the same page. If I'm trying to reiterate something, to over-communicate and drive a point because this is very important, then I'll do that. But it all comes down to communication. And if I'm not saying anything, then I may not have an expectation for you to, you know, do something.
Time now for our three-point stance presented by Toyota. Number one, Jalen Hurts isn't just leading by example. We talk about leadership every year with him, but we've all been noticing him being much more vocal on the sidelines, especially to someone like A.J. Brown, and driving the point home. When he has a route that he wants to hit, Dave, we're noticing if it doesn't get completed, he's going right up to the target and talking to him about it. Yeah,
and he should be doing that. I mean, he's this deep into his career. He's the leader of not just the offense, but the team. I like that from him. He should be assertive, and that extends beyond just player-to-player communication. It also extends to the coaching staff. Tell them what you like. Tell them what you think is working, and I think he is emboldened to do that right now with Nick Sirianni, with Kevin Patullo, whom he's known for a really long time now, and is finally in that offensive coordinator role. You like that from Jalen. He should be putting a stamp on this offense and this team because it's his.
Yeah, he's got that cachet. Of course he's going to say something. If he doesn't like the way a route was run, come back and communicate to the guy. I love what he said. He said at the end, man, if I don't come up and say something to you, that means I don't trust you. And if I don't trust you, I'm not throwing the ball to you. If I'm not throwing the ball to you, you're not in this offense, then you won't be here. So it's imperative these guys understand, I need to have a comfort level with you. If I trust you, more than like those coaches are going to trust you.
And it's also important to remember, he after that, he said, and if it's on me and I go back to the tape and I see that it's on me, I'll raise my hand and I'll be accountable. That is a really important part of this, because you can't just be on the field saying you got to do this, you got to do this. It's got to be on you first, too. And it seems like he's willing to do that. They go back and watch tape and he said, yeah, if it's on me, I'll make sure everyone knows it's on me. The accountability aspect is why you're allowed and able to do the rest of it.
Accountability, that cachet.
Yeah.
You got that cachet.
We've noticed a big difference in just this communication and
Absolutely.
vocal leadership so far this season. And number two, the cornerback battle will be a fight to the finish. You got Keely Ringo and Adoree Jackson battling here today. Vic Fangio wasn't exactly giving Jackson his flowers when asked about the veterans camp so far.
He's played a good bit of ball. But I think this is the place where he's got to, you know, show who he is and be the player, hopefully, that people have always thought he could be. In Tennessee, when it came time to re-sign him, you know, after his contract was up, they didn't. The Giants, his contract was up, they didn't. You know, it's time to show who he is or who he isn't.
Not at all.
Well, Dave, that was telling to me. He also talked about when Howie Roseman wants to sign a player, he signs a player. Vic is very honest. You know, when he wants to get a guy, he'll go get a guy. It seems like this wasn't his choice at cornerback, but he's not writing him off either.
No, and he shouldn't, because I think for the most part, Adoree Jackson has had a pretty good training camp so far. Earlier in the press conference, Vic was asked about the veteran experience, from Adoree'. So like early on in camp, he didn't really get many balls thrown his way, but he admitted that on day 4, Adoree' had a really good day. I thought that was his best day of training camp. And just as we thought, maybe Adoree' was starting to take a lead in that competition, things changed a little bit on day 5.
Yeah. Keely Ringo had a good day today.
Absolutely, he had a real good day. I think because he followed through. He made sure that he finished plays. And Adoree' Jackson, it's a higher expectation on him. Of course, you're going to say, look, we need you to go out there and show this veteran leadership. You've been around the block. You've seen things this younger guy hasn't seen before. So we expect you to go out there and have the quality reps that we know that you should be having at this point in your career.
Right. And Dave, when I look at this cornerback competition, it's like the Eagles are giving every opportunity to Keely Ringo. It's like they want him to win this job. He's a draft pick. He's now going into his 3rd off season. He's been here before battling. It's like if he doesn't get it this year, I don't know what other chances they can give him. Yeah, and he is still so young, so that I get both sides of it, right? Like maybe he gets another shot, but year 3, they bring in a 29-year-old Adoree' Jackson, who I don't think anyone really expected was going to come in here and just be handed a starting job. If all things are equal, you'd love to see Keely Ringo win this job, kind of take off with it, because
absolutely,
at 29 years old, Adoree' Jackson is probably not going to continue to get better throughout the season. Keely Ringo should, right? If he wins this job in September, there's a much better chance that he makes this team better in December and January. He's going to continue to grow with those reps. You just hope that he can win it to get that opportunity. If not, I mean, having Adoree' Jackson here is kind of the insurance policy, but it's exciting to think about Keely Ringo. He's 6'2", 205, all the athleticism in the world.
Great tangibles, great tangibles.
Just has to put it together.
Yeah,
great tangibles. Especially paired with Quinyon Mitchell. Like, it makes all the sense in the world. It's just winning the job. And speaking of number 3, the Eagles' free agent edge rushers must make an impact this season. They brought in veterans Azeez Ojulari and Josh Uche on 1-year deals. Veterans in the room, and Uche especially had a great day on Tuesday, pressuring Jalen Hurts, a forced fumble. We saw that sack on second-team O-line, so he had a great day. But it's almost Barrett like it's kind of like pass rush by committee, but they need these veterans in the room to do something on the field, frankly.
And they're absolutely stepping up. I saw some things from O'Shea that I'm like, all right, he's here. I'm seeing, the Patriots O'Shea. I'm seeing a guy that, knows how to rush the passer, knows how to stop the run. And then when look, Ojulari, same thing. 2 guys that have veteran leadership that should be playing at this capacity because they've had those NFL reps already, and they're showing the capacity to do it. I mean, I think that they're going to be a lot better than I thought they were. I thought these were guys just going to sign like, okay, let me see if I... No, they're here. They're committed to winning. They're committed to making this squad. So, I like what I've seen from these 2 guys.
Yeah, and I thought it was really cool. Josh Uche talked about Zach Bond coming here on a 1-year deal, getting an opportunity to play in this defense. Obviously, a different position it ended up being than edge rusher, but he parlays that into a big contract next year. And while it's unlikely that either Uche or Ojulari parlay their 1-year deals into a similar situation, you can see the opportunity. And this defense is very good. You have a chance to play next to Jalen Carter. You have a chance to be the 3rd edge rusher. Maybe you get a lot of 3rd downs. You got a chance to pin your ears back and get after quarterbacks. Realistically, they just need one of those 2 guys to end up working out. I think that's why you signed both of them, because you understand there's a reason they were both available. For Uche, been kind of an up-and-down career. He had 1 really good season in 2022. And then for Ojulari, he's been productive, but he hasn't stayed healthy. He hasn't played a full season since his rookie year. He needs to show that he can play 17 games.
Absolutely.
Right. They just needed contributing pieces from both of them. As it's time now for the playbook presented by Supercuts. When we come back, we'll give you the rookie report on the draft picks making waves at camp. Plus, 32 teams in 32 days focuses on the Kansas City Chiefs. Could we see another Super Bowl rematch with the Birds? And Jeff Stoutland honored for his work as an offensive line coach. We've got the details. This is Birds Huddle, presented by Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL.